Hello, Virgo. Welcome to your reading with me, Cindy. So, Virgo, what I'm feeling drawn to do, I haven't done one in a very long time. Actually, pretty rarely on my channel, but I'm really being compelled to do one for you. So I feel like it's a reading that maybe someone needs, or maybe sort of the collective that are coming to this video are feeling and wanting to hear. I'm going to do a finance career spread for you. And, maybe this sounds very Virgo. It sounds very Virgo, very Capricorn for sure, but that's what I'm being drawn to do. So I'm gonna go into my steampunk tarot. I think that's the most appropriate too for me because there's a lot of depictions of work. I don't know why I need to do that, but I was actually sitting down to do another reading that was kind of more flowing, and it didn't feel right. So I went through my little list. I have all my little cards here of all sorts of different readings that I've created over the years. And I just felt so compelled to do this one for you. What I am going to do is I'm going to start the reading off, though, with a card from this archetype deck, just to get a general message about your finances and career right now. And then we'll pull out the cards. There is an extended at the end of this. What I'm going to do with the extended is I'm going to continue to pull cards, but specifically ask about surprises from the universe and blind spots for you. Okay, so in this, the link is at the top of the description if you are drawn to that. Now, in this reading, I'm going to look at your current situation with your finances and career. I'm going to pull out a card. So that'll kind of help you too to see, does this feel like this reading is for me? Because it's a general reading. Now, when I pull out the current situation, timelines can be a little bit different for everyone. So it might be, oh, I kind of felt like that it was a few months ago, Cindy. So let me see where this goes. Or I have a feeling I'm moving towards what you're describing as my current situation. Or maybe you're right in the right timeline with that. Then we're going to look at influences that are affecting your career and finances. We're going to look at beliefs that you have around career and finances that need to change. Action to take to turn things around and the likely outcome for you. It's a very serious reading, right? It is, Virgo. It is very analytical. So, my dear, my sexy Virgos, here's someone yelling, "Ah, Cindy, I need to know what's going on with my relationship." Well, maybe you have to fix something with your career and finances first. That's what I'm being told to do. I'm just being a good girl. I'm following the orders from the tarot. What do you got here? Child wounded. Awakens compassion and desire to serve other wounded children. Opens the learning path of forgiveness. Interesting. Now, the shadow attribute blames all dysfunctional relationships on childhood wounds. Resists moving on through forgiveness. I feel more like the light attribute, and I feel like it's kind of coming through as maybe something that you would be really good at. Maybe you don't see how this could be a career for you. Or maybe it would open up also. It just feels like kind of an indirect way that perhaps it could move you towards new connections as well, like different people to meet. Let's leave that card here and see what comes out in more detail with the tarot. Awakens compassion and desire to serve other wounded children. Opens the learning path of forgiveness. Okay, so that's the first card. So the finance career spread here, 5-card spread for Virgo. Current situation, influences affecting your situation, beliefs around your career and finances that need to change, action to take to turn things around, and your likely outcome. Virgo, Virgo. Current situation. The 5 of Pentacles. Okay, if you feel like who did I do a reading for this week where it kind of felt like that came out in the Celtic Cross, that they may have lost a job or were between. But that's what this feels like. This is either feeling like you're about to maybe lose your job, or you have and you're trying to find something, or you just do not fit in where you are. You've either lost it, you're about to, or you know you don't fit in there at all. So there you go. Influencing and affecting career and finances. the Star. It does feel like you're trying to dream big here. I feel like you're really trying to dream big. Or there's someone around you that overshadows you. Let's see where the cards continue to go. Beliefs around career and finances that need to change. The Empress. This has something to do with real abundance, like massive abundance. I mean, the Empress can also be the symbol of like the mother, the spouse. There might be something that you are dealing with in terms of what a parent believes for you, or what a spouse believes you should be doing, or even maybe what you think you need to do to live up to being the perfect spouse or the perfect person or partner. Interesting cards. Action to take to turn things around. You have the King of Pentacles. This is you. Really taking control of the situation. Kind of like realizing that you have the answers, although this could be someone outside of you. Because if this is your current situation, this feels like a massive jump. To go from here, well, this is what you need to do. You need to go here, and then you just need to become the King of Pentacles. You need to become rich and stable and abundant. Get on with it. It kind of feels a little bit more like someone outside of you might have some sort of help here. The likely outcome. Your fortune is going to change, baby. Aren't we glad we did this? I'm really glad we did this. I feel like I'm off to one side here. I don't know. Yeah, your fortune is going to change. What's at the bottom? Look at the Four of Cups is at the bottom, and then it's reversed. You're going to feel really good about this change. Boy, this is interesting. Awakens compassion and desire to serve other wounded children. Opens the learning path of forgiveness. So it feels somehow connected to the Star. But I do feel like for some of you, the Star is someone that overshadows you somehow. This is kind of feeling like it could be, you could have someone, it could be like a sibling or your cousin, and everyone says, well, you know, look at how well so-and-so is doing. Look at what they've done for themselves. Or look at trying to live up to something that doesn't feel quite right for you. But there's an answer here. I don't know, maybe your mom is really hard on you. Or a feminine figure. Because now we have like the action to take to turn things around is this more masculine figure. This King of Pentacles. I want to say, you know what, if you don't want to stick around for the whole thing, all you need to know is the likely outcome is your luck is about to change. You're going in a direction where things are going to change for you. And the Wheel of Fortune, it feels very positive. I mean, we're talking, to me, the Wheel of Fortune, if I'm doing a finance or a career spread, it kind of means like a financial abundance coming towards you. The likely outcome. Oh, baby. So what is this Star card? Let me see this. This is influences affecting career and finances. And it'd be interesting to look at this beliefs with the Empress. Oh, there could be two. If, I don't know, if you're, regardless, if you're more masculine or feminine, whatever, you may also, beliefs around your career and finances. You may see yourself, either if you see yourself as very feminine, you may not feel that you fit into certain jobs or job descriptions because that's not typically where more feminine energy would go. And I also see this as maybe not being comfortable because the Empress is sort of the epitome of all the queens. She could definitely be a boss. So working for a more feminine figure, or I want to say a woman, or it could be a man too who has very feminine attributes and not being sure if you could like work with that. I mean, if you're here, I would say be pretty open to whatever is being suggested because we need to change, right? We need to change. And I do also, when I say likely outcome to something, it's sort of connected to if you follow the advice. If the reading resonates with you and you kind of follow the advice and the guidance, if you just say, screw this reading, you may not get this, or you may get it in your own way. Okay, let's look at this star. This is influencing and affecting your career and your finances. The Ten of Cups, the star again, and the Eight of Pentacles. The Six of Swords, Ten of Cups, the star, and the Eight of Pentacles. I think you're distracted. You know what I feel like? I think you're distracted. I don't think you're focusing on work. I kind of feel a bit of that. Trying to focus on something. There's something that distracts you from work. There's something that's distracting you from work. There's the Ten of Cups and the star. Maybe it does kind of overshadow you, but in a really odd way here. And the Eight of Pentacles, yes, this is at work. The star is at work, but it's also coming up as the Ten of Cups, your wish fulfillment. But I don't feel like you're at work because you're the Five of Pentacles. You have to bear with me. These are not as easy. These readings are actually not as easy to do as like anything to do with relationship or spiritual journey, because it's really trying to ground things into the material world here. And the tarot talks about a lot more than that. So I'm sort of trying to feel how these come into more of a material world, but then also remembering that, I mean, your finances and your career are not just on a single thread where there are other threads affecting it. It does feel like there's something that distracts you, and then you got to get back focused on work. What is this Five of Pentacles? So how is your current situation? The Five of Pentacles. Oh my God. The Seven of Wands, the Seven of Swords, the Knight of Pentacles, the Knight of Wands. Jeez, look at the repeats here. 7, 7, Night, Night. Night, Night. Yeah, defensive, walking away. Maybe you actually walked away from a job, or you're feeling like doing that, and you're kind of wanting to go forward slowly. Yeah, this really rings about very clearly to me. Someone who felt very defensive where they were working, maybe not understood, maybe even in an environment where you're not really sure who you can trust. That's very uncomfortable. And the Seven of Swords, just not even just packing up at the end of the day, going and leaving a little note under the boss's door and not coming back. That's it. I'm out of here. And then moving very slowly. That's interesting. Yeah, okay. So it feels like moving very slowly, having a plan. Let's see where this goes. I just had to do this because it wasn't serving me, and not feeling good in that space, like not feeling like you connect. I think I said that. One of the first things I said with this Five of Pentacles, and it feels like that with the Seven of Wands and Seven of Swords. But then there's this energy that's almost wanting to just charge back to you. So it could be that you have left a job, or you feel very much like you would like to just leave in the night. You don't want to stay there anymore. You just want to move ahead and kind of see what the possibilities are. Have a bit of a plan here. It almost feels like you don't sense that you can formulate a proper plan for yourself until you remove yourself from this energy. Because once I do that, once I do that, I know that I can sit down and I can clearly think about a plan to make for myself. What suits me, what I didn't like about where I was, and what I would like to find for myself. But something is charging back. This Knight of Wands is charging back. So it does feel like there could be something from that past Five of Pentacles that's pretty passionate about you. Maybe there's someone else where you were working in some other division that wants to charge back to you with some sort of creative idea. So what's affecting you here? Now, as I'm coming, maybe I should have started with the Five of Pentacles, because this Star card does feel a bit like it's repeated twice. It could be a hope and a dream. If you weren't getting what you wanted where you were, I don't feel like you leave with a plan that, okay, this is going to make them come back. I don't feel like you, I know. But then I do feel like something comes back to you. Something at least comes charging towards you. And it could even be just the word getting around. Oh, you know what? I heard so-and-so isn't working there anymore, or they're not there anymore. Oh, and then, you know, word of mouth, and then someone who's, you know, liked your skills, maybe worked with you or went to school with you, who knows, some sort of connection where they have some sort of idea about your work ethic and what you would get done, and they see something that you would fit into here. Because the influences affecting your career and finance are really positive, but it might not feel like it at first. And it's in a very strange way, it feels connected to being out of the job. Like that is even how you end up putting yourself down the river of life in the right direction towards what your dream is. And this is like ideal for work, the Eight of Pentacles. Everything is lined up. It's really nicely organized. You have the space and the time to focus on what it is that you want to make and do a good job at it. Okay, so beliefs around career and finances that need to change is the Empress. How does this need to change? And what exactly is this? It's the Ace of Swords and the Justice card. Very clear communication. Very clear communication about legal. Like maybe you need to get something in writing. I also want to say too, like if this is some sort of a career or job that you're getting an opportunity through either family or someone connected to family with the Empress, don't just go on words here. Make sure you get something in writing. I really feel like that. There could be like big promises here and even things that are really meant to be kept when the promises are made. But as things grow and develop and change, there's something very like maternal about this Empress, and it's affecting your careers and your career and your finances. It's a belief system. So changing the belief system, specifically the Empress is the Hanged Man. Yeah, you're thinking about something here that you're unsure of. It feels so much like it has something to do with femininity, nurturing, growing something. Oh, this card is coming out now because that's kind of the energy of the Empress, like taking in the lost little souls and bringing them in to her, you know, I don't know, she's sitting on some kind of a funny little couch. But often the Empress is in the woods and all the little animals and all the little children like coming into the Empress. So there's something, maybe this is a belief system about what you could do to protect others, to help others through even pain that you've worked through. You may even need to forgive your mother because it does say opens the learning path of forgiveness. Maybe you feel like your mom. I'm a mom, so I hate talking like this about moms, but it's just maybe either like a mom or a wife or a parent or a spouse. You feel like they have kind of misguided you, or at least their beliefs, they're very forceful expressing their beliefs, and that's been put onto you. It feels like you've had some sort of pattern that's been created through, I don't want to call it childhood wounding, although it does sort of talk about that in the card, but it doesn't have to be that extreme. It could just be seeing, well, this is what women do, and this is what men do, and this is what's considered a career, and this is what's considered charity work and community work, and almost like bringing those together. They don't have to be so separate. You can bring those together. So the action to take to turn things around is this King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles, the Six of Cups, the Moon, and the World. All the answers. I do feel like, too, because the King of Pentacles is someone I kind of to me, I describe as someone who has all the answers. This is someone who got where they are through like a lot of hard work and perseverance. It's not an easy place to, an easy point of achievement to acclaim. So I feel a bit like you don't have to have all the answers. So it does feel like going to someone. I'm going to say it. It almost feels like some sort of feminine energy has somehow steered you in the wrong direction. I don't know. I'm not really getting that because it's the Empress. It's still beauty. And nothing has come out around it that is really horribly negative. So I don't feel like, and it could even be just perspectives. You need a more, it seems like a more masculine perspective here. If you don't have all the answers. And we got the Six of Cups, which is reminding me of childhood again. There's an answer to someone outside of you, through someone outside of you, who is like more prominent in the community. And it might not even be someone that you would think would possibly have the answers for you. There's definitely a need to change perspective, because I do feel like the universe would like to bring you in something that is like a dream, a wish come true. But maybe you don't see how, you know, if you've got this within you, if you have some sort of a charitable aspect to you, or you just feel a naturally nurturing yourself, could just feel very naturally nurturing. Those two words are very important. Naturally nurturing. That you can actually create something with this. The King of Pentacles could also be like a banker. It could be, I would say the King of Swords would be more like a lawyer, but it's possible it could be an accountant. So the action to take to turn things around. Again, I hope you're bearing with me, because these are not the easiest readings to do. Like finance and career, which is a lot of times why you don't get them in tarot readings. But so there's something within you, some sort of feminine understanding about career and finance, and blending that together with what is not typically seen as career and finance, like taking that, and perhaps this is just how you saw feminine energy function around you growing up, or a belief system that was sort of spewed out to you. But I do feel like the action to take to turn things around is this King of Pentacles. It could be a banker. It could be an accountant. It could be someone prominent in your community. It could be your father. It could be your husband. All those things kind of come around the King of Pentacles. And I feel like this person may have even known you in childhood. So I do feel like this person would be older than you. They would have known you in childhood with the Six of Cups. There's some sort of mystery around this, or they may have answers and you didn't think they would. It kind of reminds me a little bit of when I was going to college, and I was learning, well, my intent to go to college, I wanted to be a conservation officer. I wanted to go in the woods and get the bad guys for poaching and doing naughty things to the forest. But then there was all these cutbacks in the government. And it was like pretty much, I went to see the alumni come to do a talk, and yeah, I was pretty much, yeah, you know what, you're just going to get contract work here and there for the next 10 years. We could have a steady job. That doesn't sound good. And a really funny thing about that is, so I had other friends that went to the same school, and like they would take like Parks and Rec, and we called it like Parks and Playground. So didn't really get, I get like a real job. I don't know if you wanted to own a house and have a family one day. It wasn't probably going to provide for that. But I had these two friends, and they actually met in college, and they've been together since then. Gosh, they've been together for probably about 25 years now. And he was in a course with a friend who was taking Parks and Recreation. And he kind of got the idea as he was going along, you know what, this is going to be a good career. This is going to be a career path. So he decided to do something else. And he works for, I don't remember what he did, but he works for the local hydro companies. But so this friend he has, who was adamant about staying on a career path for Parks and Recreation, he sent him a message a year ago. I finally got a permanent position. It's like 25 years later. Anyways, I feel, why was I talking about that? There was a reason for that. This person knew you, and I don't know, somebody needs to hear that. Be careful about what you decide to do. The King of Pentacles, this person knew you, could have known you in school. There's some sort of connection, I feel like, between you and this person, but they've made like quite a bit of wealth for themselves. They've done really, really well. And the world, though, this person could even be thinking about ending something that they're in and starting something new. But they're kind of waiting for, you know, more information. They're not going to jump out of something that they have been doing for years and it's really stable and abundant. It could even be a side business. There's something important here about this King of Pentacles. I would look at that around you. It could be even just a simple discussion around the dinner table with a father, a spouse, an uncle, or someone that you would see as more masculine and then this prominent. This person has some answers for you. The Wheel of Fortune, the likely outcome. The Wheel of Fortune, the likely outcome. Oh, man. Look. Oh, really? The Nine of Wands, the Magician, and the Sun. Okay, so it's going to feel like you can't do it much more. And however that plays out for you, whether it's looking for something new, just dealing with where you actually are, just feeling like you can't find anything that suits you. And then something's going to change here. It's going to either open your eyes, and it might be this, to how you manifest something. It's going to open your eyes about how you have been working to manifest what it is that you want. And I feel like there's a connection to this King of Pentacles for you to do that. It's going to change your perspective. And when you change your perspective, you change your thinking, you change your feelings towards a situation. Situations just exist. They're not good or bad. It's how we view them. And that feels like that's the shift for you. And then it goes right into the Sun, like your wish fulfillment, your dreams coming true, your happiest, brightest days. I hope I was able to give you clarity. Those are not the easiest readings for me to do. I will admit that. They're tricky. And I think they're tricky too because you can't just say, well, your career and your finances are working this way or not working that way because of X, Y, and Z. But we have internal belief systems, and that's really coming out strongly here with this Empress. So there's some sort of an internalized belief system that you've established to change that for yourself. And then I do feel like this King of Pentacles has some sort of answers here. And that's it. And at the bottom, we have the Two of Pentacles. So kind of juggling the things that you have, the options that you have. That's the Two of Pentacles. Jeez. Whoa. Did you see that? And then we had the Queen of Wands. It just flew right off. Like, you're going to feel really great. It's the creative aspect of you somehow to be utilized in your career. And it does feel like with this belief system that the Empress energy in some way plays in on that. And it's to shift it for yourself. So there you go. There you go, Virgo. You had your career finance spread. Thank you so much for coming in and bearing with me on that. I'm going to go do the extended and see where more information about your, actually, well, kind of like surprise, blind spots, and where energy continues to go for you. So until next time, do be gentle with yourselves. Bye.